Francis condition. Joining me now, critical care physician and pulmonologist, Dr. Roger Seheult. Doctor, thank you very much for being with us. From what you've heard about the Pope's condition and this crisis, we heard that it was a short crisis, but when you're 88 and you have bilateral pneumonia, anything could potentially be fatal. What do you think is happening right now?
That's right, Tom. So the 88-year-old pontiff has been now in the hospital for 15 days. Usually what happens, in my experience, to people who are admitted with pneumonia is they either get better fast, they get worse fast, or they just linger on. And we're in the 15th day. What happened last night is simply the result of his lung disease and his working immune system. The airways in his system have become contracted. That's called bronchospasm. And we've all done this before when we cough till the point of almost like gagging.
Right.
And that was productive of some vomit, which he probably aspirated down into the lungs. What happened was they put him on something very similar to what a lot of people wear at night for obstructive sleep apnea, which is like a CPAP mask or a BiPAP mask. This helped to improve his situation. He was suctioned out. And this is a bump in the road, but it's kind of a 50-50 situation. He's either going to get better or get worse. The fact that he's been in the hospital for this long speaks to an immune system which has been fighting something for a very long time.
When you talk, they mentioned about this non-invasive breathing assistance. When you hear, and that's the first time that they have indicated that any kind of breathing assistance has been administered. Now, it wasn't a tracheotomy or anything that was invasive, but when you hear that, do you feel like this is going down a negative road, or is this something that you think that he could bounce back from?
It's still something he could potentially bounce back from, but usually when someone goes on non-invasive ventilation, which is a mask that fits tightly, that's able to push air down into the lung, that's the last step before someone gets intubated and put on a ventilator with the endotracheal tube. So the fact that he is at that point where a small crisis like this would end him up on that type of a machine tells me that there's very little margin of error.
And the lungs and the lung capacity has been so incredibly diminished. Dr. Roger Seheult, thank you very much for your insight. We appreciate you being with us today.